Center for Advanced Maintenance Technology, Camtech, Gwalior presents training video film for diesel loco pilots on microprocessor-based control system for alco loco. Disclaimer: the information given in this training video film does not supersede any existing provision laid down in RDSO and Railway Board's instructions. The instructions given in the film are not statutory and are only for the purpose of guidance or to upgrade knowledge of diesel loco pilot. If at any point contradiction is observed, then Railway Board and RDSO guidelines or zonal railway instructions may be followed. Objective: the main objective of this video film is to upgrade knowledge of loco pilots about MEP 660 microprocessor control systems and to disperse correct operating practices and location of assemblies or components. This film will definitely enhance the knowledge of diesel loco pilots, investigation, finding causes of failure, and remedial action if required. The video film contains introduction of old excitation control system, introduction of microprocessor-based control system, salient features of microprocessor control system, additional features of microprocessor control system, items removed from previous control system, description of some important assemblies of microprocessor control system, display unit and navigation through menus, classification and reset procedure of fault messages, important do's and don'ts, troubleshooting. Excitation control system regulates the exciter field current through a transistor switch operated by the pulse width modulator, basically a magnetic amplifier. The average current is decided by the on to off ratio of the PWM, which is controlled by the mixer reference network, basically a resistor network with two saturable reactors and rectifiers. The mixer reference network receives proportionate feedback signals from TA voltage, TA current, and engine speed. Based on the input signal levels, it sends a controlling signal to the PWM, which controls the exciter field current and its output. The exciter output is directly connected to alternator field through GF contactor, which is again controlled by propulsion control system. Thus, traction alternator power is controlled to the required constant HP at each notch. The MEP 660 is a complete locomotive control system consisting engine cranking, loco propulsion control, excitation control, auxiliary generator control, and continuous monitoring of safety devices on the locomotive. Some of the improved features are self-load test of locomotive and inbuilt event recorder designed and developed as per RDSO specifications. MEP 660 loco control system is designed to replace the existing propulsion and E-type excitation system. MEP 660 control system eliminates mechanical interlocking, uses microprocessor to control the locomotive through software logic. Salient features of microprocessor-based control system. Fault diagnostics. Microprocessor-based system has fault diagnostic capabilities. This system continuously monitors various operational parameters and checks for abnormalities in the functioning of various traction equipments. The fault is displayed on the display unit along with restrictions imposed because of the fault. For information of the driver, the fault code along with real-time and date stamp is logged in the error log memory. Self-diagnostics. This system keeps on monitoring its own modules and sensors continually for their healthiness. Fault tolerance. Fault tolerance capabilities are also in this system for certain faults. In such cases, the operation of the locomotive continues in the normal way and the fault is logged in the error log with data pack for later analysis. Automatic fault recovery. For most of the faults, the recovery conditions are identified, and whenever the fault ceases to exist, the fault recovery is recognized and displayed to the driver on the display unit, and the event is registered in the error log. Short-term rating of traction motors. The equipment automatically takes care of short-term traction motor current ratings and does not depend upon the driver for protection of the equipment. Self-test to digital inputs and outputs. MEP 660 has self-test facility for all digital inputs, outputs, and output devices, which enable the maintenance staff in identification of wiring faults quickly. Self-load box test. A simple load test can be carried out to know the performance of the engine and entire control system. Event recorders. This system records the data on a compact, non-volatile flash memory unit that does not need any electrical power to retain the data in the memory. In the short-term memory, the various data are recorded in 1-second interval. Latest 45 hours data is available at any time to download. In the long-term memory, only speed and distance along with the date and time are recorded in 20 seconds interval. Latest 225 days of data is available at any time to download. Multi-reset vigilance control device or alerter. This control system, MEP 660, is equipped with vigilance control to enhance the safety of the locomotive operation. The multi-reset vigilance control device provided in NEP 660 recognizes the following loco operations performed by the driver and assumes he is vigilant. Change of notch position, application or release of dynamic brake, application or release of brakes through A9, operation of sand buttons, operation of electrical horn buttons, change of locomotive direction through reverser handle, operation of GF switches, sufficient increase or decrease of dynamic brake level, that is 20%, through master handle, operation of VCD reset switch. If the driver performs none of the above operations within 60 seconds, the MEP 660 system initially alerts the driver with visual indication, blinking LED provided on each control stand for a period of 17 seconds. Auto flasher. The MEP 660 control system switches on the train's flasher light automatically during train parting or driver applies driver emergency brake. In addition, driver can also switch on flasher lights whenever needed. Auto emergency brake system. This feature is provided in locomotive to apply penalty brakes while working in the ghat sections. Additional features: engine shutdown with failure of crankcase breaker, limitation of power to 4th notch with failure of RBB or diode hot, power deration from T3 setting to T4 setting, 90 to 95 degrees Celsius. The engine power is derated by 20% of the notch power for every degree raised from 90 degree onwards. 8th notch RPM at hottest temperature. When the engine temperature reaches to T4 setting 95 degree, engine RPMs are raised to 8th notch automatically by cutting of power for faster cooling of engine. Low idle feature. When the locomotive is in idle for more than 10 minutes, the engine RPM is reduced to 350 for reducing the fuel oil consumption. List of items removed from previous control system. Control panels. Excitation control panel, EXCP. Engine control panel, ECP. Voltage regulator panel, VRP. Transition regulator panel, TRP. Resistor panels. Wheel slip resistor panel, WSRR1 and 2. Wheel slip control resistors, WR8, WR9 and WR10. Oscillator voltage dividing panel, OVDR. Generator voltage dividing panel, GVDR or VDP. Tacho Generator Load Resistor Panel TGLR, Braking Limiting Resistor Panel BKER 1 and 2. Relays. 12 relays have been removed and remaining 11 relays retained. Rotating machines. Axle alternator. Tacho generator. 6 TM speed sensors. ESS. Miscellaneous items removed. Transition excitation transformer TET. Armature current control reactor ACCR. Stabilizing panel, step panel, voltage regulator current limiting shunt, load ammeter shunt LAS, engine temperature switches. Description of some important assemblies. The microprocessor-based locomotive control system MEP660 consists of the following sub-assemblies. Control unit type MEP660. This is main control equipment of the microprocessor system. The control unit consists 18 plus 1 spare plug in module type cards in dustproof enclosures. These modules are provided with proper identification number both on the module and as well as on the control unit of each slot. Control card MEP-CC. The MEP-CC card is the main control card having a microcontroller along with its programmed software, various circuits and interface circuits. All the digital, analog and frequency inputs are connected to this card. Control card MAU-CC. The MAU-CC card is the second control card having a microcontroller along with its programmed software, various interface circuits. This card controls the auxiliary generator field current to regulate the terminal voltage at 72 plus minus 1 volt. Control card MWS-CC. The MWS-CC card is a third control having a microcontroller along with its programmed software. This card detects the wheel slip and communicates to the MEP-CC card to control the power during wheel slip. Digital input cards MDIP16, MIDIP16. These digital input cards consist the hardware required for converting the high voltage signals of nominal 72 volt DC from the locomotive circuits to isolated low voltage signals of 5 volt DC required for the microprocessor of the system. The green color LEDs provided on this card indicate presence of 72 volt DC on that particular channel. The yellow LEDs indicate the signal being sent to microcontroller after isolation and signal conditioning. Digital output cards MLSD16 and MHSD16 or MIHSD16. The digital output cards converts 5V digital signals generated by the microcontroller system MEP-CC card to 72 volt DC power signals required for driving relays, contactors, solenoids, indication lamps, etc. in the locomotive circuits. These cards provide electrical isolation between locomotive circuits and microcontroller circuits. Each card can process 16 output signals. Analog input cards. The MEP660 system continuously monitors various parameters like voltages, currents, pressures and temperatures of various equipments in the locomotive through different sensors. Analog input card MAIP8AU. This card, MAIP8AU card, is connected between MAU-CC card and ADB1 parameters pertaining to auxiliary generator, and battery charging is mainly connected to this card. Analog input card MAIP8WS. This card, MAIP8WS card, is connected between MWS-CC card and ADB2 individual traction motor current signals are mainly connected to this card. Analog input card MAIP8EP. This card, MAIP8EP card, is connected between MEPCC card and ADB3. All the excitation-related parameters are mainly connected to this card. Improved analog input card MAIP16 or MIAI. This card, MAIP16 or MIAI, modified analog input card, process the signals received from BPP, BCP, FOP, BAP and LOP sensors. Frequency input card MFIP16. This card consists of the hardware required for converting the signals generated by speed sensors of traction motors and diesel engine. Pulse width modulator card MPWM2. The PWM card converts the low voltage pulse width modulated signals generated by the microcontroller system to a high power 72 volt output for controlling the exciter field current and auxiliary generator field current. Excitation and propulsion power supply card MEPPS. This module supplies various regulated power supplies of ±9 volt, ±12 volt and ±15 volt required for the operation of all the cards in the control unit. Display unit. This sub-assembly consists of a 40-character X4 line alphanumeric vacuum fluorescent display VFD. It also consists of a keyboard for data entry by the operator and an acknowledge switch to silence the built-in buzzer, hooter and alarm gong ALG during fault message display. Analog distribution box ADB MDB701. The analog distribution box provides regulated DC power to various sensors that are connected to the ADB. It also collects output signals from these sensors and transmits them to the main control unit. There are 4 ADBs per loco. RPM distribution box RDB MDB702. The RPM distribution box RDB supplies power to all the speed sensors connected to the RDB. It also collects speed signals from these sensors and transmits these signals to the main control unit. Motor cutout switch box MSP707. This module is a traction motor isolation box used to isolate any defective traction motor in service. 6 toggle switches are provided on the box with an earmarking of MCOS1 to MCOS6. VCD magnet valve type 3332104G. VCD magnet valve is directly operated electro-pneumatic valve used to apply penalty brakes whenever any safety devices like VCD, AEB, fire alert are operated in the locomotive. Breakers and switches. The nomenclature of all the breakers and switches almost same as conventional WDG3A locomotive. Extra breakers, new MPCB, microprocessor circuit breaker, PLPB, pre-lubrication pump breaker, display unit and navigation through menus. The display unit is the main interface between the user and the equipment. Normally, a group of parameters also displayed in real time on the display unit. Different groups of such parameters are available for selection. The parameters are grouped functionally, for example, excitation-related parameters, auxiliary generator-related parameters, wheel RPMs and traction motor currents, etc. User can select any one of the groups for display and record the required locomotive parameters while testing the locomotive. By default, the display unit is in driver display mode. In addition to loco parameters, warning messages are also displayed during fault occurrence with or without audio based on the severity of the fault. To select A menu, submenu, operator has to simply press either menu option number or down arrow key till the required option is highlighted. Main menu, sub-menu 1, sub-menu 2, sub-menu 3. Display parameters: false, display mode, test mode, exit, view false, clear false. False. View active false. Registered false, if any, will be displayed. User can navigate through the false using down arrow key until no more fault log message is displayed. Press menu key to select exit option. Clear active false. Use 0 to clear false message will be displayed. After few seconds, logged faults are displayed one by one. After noting down the faults, to clear fault, press 0 key and down arrow key to see next fault. Continue the above till all faults are cleared. Press menu key to select exit option. Display mode, excitation, auxiliary, wheel slip, mixed, driver display. The driver default display has got 3 screens: idle screen, motoring screen, braking screen. Respective screens are changed automatically based on the control stand signals, while the locomotive operation is being set by the driver. In each screen, relative parameters are displayed: idle screen, motoring screen, braking screen, MCBG status, classification and reset procedure of fault messages. The faults are classified into 3 levels such as high, medium and low priority based on the severity of the effect of the fault on locomotive operation. These faults, irrespective of their priority level, are permitted to be cleared by the driver by pressing the menu key. Driver can reset the fault by operating the keys available on the display unit in the following sequence. Press menu key. The following main menu appears: false, display mode, test mode, exit. Press key 1 to select false. The following submenu appears: view active false, clear active false. Press key 2 to select clear